Good morning, it's Tony Hayes from Paranormal Investigation UK. Today's date is Sunday, the 20th of February 2022. And after Storm Eunice, we've now got another storm on its way, by whatever name they've given it this time. So, dreadful weather today, so time to crack on and get a few more reviews done at the Cheshire investigation. We're fastly catching up with the captures that were sent in to us in 2021. We're now on the 19th of September. Most of the previous captures we've analysed were predominantly noises, some strange ones. We had a couple of strange, unusual light anomalies. These are all in the main office. Noises again. On one occasion, 3 cameras picked it up, 2 cameras picked it up. That was quite unusual. Never had all 3 cameras pick it up before. So these are all relevant to but a bit of stuff going on as well in just the beginning of September on the hallway area as well as the top of the stairway area. So, one of the great strangers there into August now, again, noises, loud bangs, that type of stuff. One of those baffling situations that I find with this case is, if we go back to the beginning, this is obviously the main office area. This is the empty room office area. Most of August and into September, not a glimmer from the empty room at all. And what we find is certainly within the first year, because we've been on the case since May of 2020, it would swap. Initially we started off the main office, then it moved into the empty room. Then we had a bit of phenomena in both rooms, then it would stop and carry on the empty room, flat line in the main office, and vice versa. So it's always been a strange one, something I've never been able to quite understand. And this one is no different. This comes into the early hours of the 19th of September. And it's at almost 2:30 on a Sunday morning. So the 19th of September, I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday because I checked on this earlier this morning. 19th of September 2021 was a Sunday morning. There's an unusual booming sound. Let's have a listen. Now, that bright light there is a roadway, and then there's another office block, and that's got a security light that triggers on movement. That's obviously lit up, and that's the reason why that window's lit up. And it's gone out. Now, it's almost as if it's a much louder sound at the beginning. Which we're presuming is security light. That's normally what's happened previously. And there's this droning sound, which we don't know what it is. there is a fridge close by, and we have heard that go off before, but that isn't the fridge, and there's nothing else in this room. I listened to it this morning, watched it through. There's nothing else visual except the first initial flash of light at the window. After that's a droning sound. Now, this room itself, rather than the actual main office room, we've captured a considerable amount of what I call residual sounds. We've had dogs, we've had kookaburras at early hours of the morning. They should have immigrated months before. We've had air raid shelter, air raid sirens similar to what you would hear in the Second World War, as well as some electronic voice phenomena. We don't appear to have that in the main office. Whatever phenomena is in the empty room tends to be radically different to what goes in the main office, and vice versa. One of the strangeness of this particular building. Now, there's a droning sound. We know it's a quarter of a mile away from a disused Second World War air base that was frequently used to protect Chester and Liverpool during the Second World War. It's no more than a quarter of a mile away. Now, that was relevant to maybe about 16 months ago when we captured a air raid siren. I don't know why we were hearing a air raid siren in the early hours of the morning. So while we're dealing with some sort of residual noise from the past being played forward, such as the droning of an aircraft, I've tried to. There's no doubt that the aircraft flew over this because it's it's at the end of the airstrip. I don't know what the first noise is at the beginning, to be honest. So, not a bit of fun. It's just something a little bit different. Let's think out the box on this one today. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to analyse the sound, particularly the initial explosion, because there's no doubt that. Let's just get right. So I'm going to take an image of that light. We'll call that capture one. And let it go out again. And then I'm going to do the same exercise with the light gone out. So this just makes anyone that's reading the report, gives them a clearer understanding of what exactly it is that's going on within this piece of footage, so they can actually visually see it. So that's that done. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to look at the two frequencies, one at the initial boom at the beginning, and the one that follows. I have a good friend in the Netherlands, Jan, who's very good at forensically analysing sound. So if necessary, I will go to Jan and ask him to have a look at this. I use him selectively because he's a busy guy, but I will turn for help and advice if and when I need it. So there's nothing visual to see, so we'll take that off. So we should be able to see the streams of sound, that's the initial one there. What on earth is that? Okay, sounds like a bass drum. I wasn't far wrong either. Okay, let's take a copy of that. And we'll call this first boom sound. So clearly that is what's triggered the camera. It's certainly loud enough. Okay, let's see if we can do something with this other sound. That's a voice. That is a voice. I can't hear that on normal volume. No, I didn't expect to hear that. So why have we got a voice? 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning on a Sunday when the place is deserted. That does sound voice-like. Right, okay, what I'll do with this, I think, is to I'll copy that. I'll just pop that at the beginning. I'll go back to it. Because I captured that at 16 seconds. Okay, listen to the rest of it. Sounds like almost like machinery. I've changed my mind about the droning sound. Another one is music. It just seems to sound differently when you listen to it on media player. That's a completely different sound. and what you get on here. I'm just going to have to report it, because certainly on Media Player it sounds differently, and I think a lot of that could be down to the fact that it's using a different driver on Mixcraft, where the Media Player will be running on the internal sound driver rather than the external one from Mixcraft. That will explain the differences in sound. Yeah, it's on the Rode microphone, so that will be using an external sound driver rather than the internal one. That will explain the differences in sound between Media Player and Mixcraft, what I'm using here. So all I can do with that is just make a note it's droning, in the hope that someone might hear it, either one of my colleagues or somebody looking at the YouTube, and give me some pointers. So what I need to do with this now is turn it back up. Okay. Sounds like shocking. What I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go and clean this up. So what I do, those that investigators are interested in enhancing sound, what you'll always do with this sort of sound is save it as a WAV file. That's completely uncompressed. And we'll put it voice sample. Always WAV file, never MP3. Okay, we can shut that down for a second. Right, so what we've done was we've turned the volume up to maximum and we've saved the file. What we now do, just put these images in here, get them out of the way. There's the voice sample. We open up a piece of software called WavePad. It is free. If you just use it for normal and not commercial reasons. It seems to have crashed for some reason. Okay, it seems to have started it. Right, so let's have a quick listen back. So what we need to do is just mark where the sound's coming from. That's there. That's where the it sounds like the start of a voice. So the bit before it, we highlight. We go to edit. We'll clean up, noise reduction, grab sample from selected area. What you do then is highlight all of it. Back to edit, clean up, noise reduction, and now you're going to add the subtraction. So that bit that is grabbed is now going to subtract that from the rest of the audio. 50% is the maximum you can go to produce a sound, produce a noise, I should say. So what we do now, just listen back. We might be able to go a little bit further, so we'll do the same again. We'll grab it more, edit, clean up, noise reduction, grab it, likewise, highlight it all this time. You can go back if you make a mistake. If you go too far, you can just use the little blue arrow there. Where have we gone? noise reduction, and we add the subtraction to it. Okay, I don't want to go any further. I know from experience that if you got to go 3 times, it'll start to deteriorate the rest of the voice, which is something I want to try and avoid. All you do now, save as. You're saving as a voice of a file, and you can put in there noise reduced. So you've got an indication of which file it is. It's very easy to get mixed up. Okay, we've done that. We then open up Mixcraft again. We're going to bring back the voice sample noise reduce, that goes in, get rid of that one. And the added advantage we've got now, we'll be able to amplify it a second time. So we'll just loop it back. Okay, what I'm going to try and do now is see if we can EQ this a little bit better than what it is. We should be able to get a fix now if it is in fact in voice frequency. If you're familiar with pareidolia, this is the mind's ability to make up anything when it's faced with random sound or vision. It'll start to, in visual, it'll often come up with a face, and in random noise, white noise, you can begin to hear sounds within it which aren't really there. It's just pareidolia. It's a human reaction to hearing random data or looking at random data. So we just need to be a little bit careful. Okay, I'm going to go quiet now while I'm going to start to do a little bit of work with the EQ. I'm going to take frequencies out that I know the human spectrum isn't involved with. So we should start to see a little bit of better quality. We'll see improvements anyway. Interesting. It appears to be voice. Right, okay. What I'm actually going to do with this, get rid of that section there. What I can do now is I'm actually going to duplicate that one. And on track 2, they're both exactly the same. drag that a little bit further forward. And what I'm going to do now is that if it isn't an electronic voice phenomenon, EVP, then they do tend to come at you at a much faster tempo, around about 50% faster. There isn't a rhyme or reason why that is, but that happens to be that way. It's often so. My default is 50%. So as you see, when we are beginning to slow it down, obviously the track expands, it gets larger because I've slowed it down. So there's 150. So what we can do now is we can listen to these front to back. So first one is the fast, normal tempo. The second one will be faster tempo. Watch it. What's it? Sounds male, and it sounds like it's got an accent. You've got to bear in mind with this is I'm on over-ear headphones, and the headphones are amplified. It's got an amplifier. The headphones plug in, so I'm hearing it much louder, but it's crystal clear. So what we'll do now is we're gonna copy both of them and paste them 4 times. Then what this will allow me to do is to pass it on to my colleagues to have a listen to. Okay, we'll save that now. Yeah, if there's anything to be taken from this, initially, when we looked at the movie, we were interested in one. The light seems to be on, that it's less bright. Could be something to do with this culture light. I can hear droning sound, so I think that's where I'm actually going to go. And had I heard that in Mixcraft, then what I would have done is sampled that particular section of droning, and I'll just go and find some aircraft samples and compared them. But suddenly it sounds slightly different because I'm using Mixcraft, which is using a separate different driver, and it's not quite as clear, the droning sound. So that's when we heard the voice, and we spent a bit of time just correcting that side of it as well. So it certainly took us on a slightly different journey from what we set out at the beginning. And I think this is the advantage you have is when you get a piece of footage, such as it's a minute of it, you look at it and think, yeah, that's a security light. it's a bit of background noise, whatever, and just simply put it, say it's negative, nothing in there. It's only when you begin to look at it in detail that there are secrets to be covered, or discovered. Now, this is on a Saturday morning, it's 2:30. I'm confident that someone isn't talking outside. It sounds like electronic voice phenomena, because it's certainly, as I'll start up now in media player, but I've another listen to it 4 times. This is the normal tempo version, followed by the slower 50% minus 50% slower version, and then I'll shut the movie down. And what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to send that to my colleagues, ask them for their opinion with this one, as well as supplying the actual movie, so they can have a listen to that. And I don't know with that, it's certainly a strange one. So if you get any thoughts on that, opinions, please let me know, because this is another strange one, because that voice really shouldn't be there.